Hello, everybody. Official hello. My name is Matt Mullen from Email Crush, and welcome to this How to Make Money with Email Mastermind. I'm excited that you're here. Um, and we're going to be talking today about some stuff that is going on in the industry that is different than ever before. I think that I've got some people on here that have joined my mastermind in the past. Tracy, I think, Darcy, maybe, Jazz, maybe. Oh, Charlotte did too. Okay. So this is maybe a little bit of a repeat. Some new stuff is happening in the space to help us monetize in ways that we've never done before. But to get there, we're going to have to talk about some email fundamentals. So for those of you who do know my spiel, get ready because you're going to hear some of it again, but with a fresh twist. And my experience tells me that you might need it. No judgment. I'm just saying that's pretty common that email people have really great intentions, get something launched, and then kind of go, let's put that over here because we've got some SEO to do. We've got some posts to make. We've got some videos to take, some TikToks. So for all of you, stay with me. And for those who are new to what I do, I'm going to give you a quick, brief introduction here if I can remember how to share my screen on Zoom. This is me. That is my overly photoshopped face from a long time ago before this upcoming birthday. And this is my family. I live in Arizona with these wonderful people. Well, actually, I only live in Arizona with one of these wonderful people. She's the one holding my hand because we became empty nesters last year. Any empty nesters out there? Oh my goodness. Yeah. That was Chaz was like, yes, it's a great thing. I mean, our families are wonderful. Our kids are wonderful. Empty nest life is pretty good too. So what do I know about email? Well, I used to work at I've been in small business for 25 years. And before doing this gig, which I've been doing for the last 5, I worked at a daily deal website, and we didn't have any marketing budget to speak of. It was the only ways we made money was affiliate marketing and our email list. And so we did our low watermark for sales in a year for email that I could attribute directly to the email was $10 million. We did more than that, double or triple that in many years. While I was at it, I started this little side hustle to a Disney-related website. And using the techniques that I'm going to share with you, I grew that website from the date of domain registration in September of 2016, so 0 subscribers to 40,000 subscribers, using the exact thing that I'm going to talk about today. In 2 years. Now, I know for some of you that's small chump change, but for me that was kind of a big deal. And we're gonna get into that here in just a second. So since that time, I've had the privilege of working with some of the greatest content creators on the planet, and these folks are prolific, but they all needed a little bit of help with growing their list, knowing what to send that would get opened and clicked, how to use email marketing automation to make their life simpler, and doggone it, how to make money with email in addition to what they're doing. So this has been fun for me. And I'm going to share with you today the same stuff that I teach them or that I implement for them. Okay. Some housekeeping things: mute when you're not talking. I don't know why I do this. Everybody knows how to use Zoom. So let's skip this stuff. I do love it if you want to show your face. That's the last time I'll say it. But if you've ever done one of these speaking engagements, you know it can be you just thrive off of that energy from people. Okay, if you have not gotten it in the past, Raptive has made it my course 100% free for you as part of this mastermind. If you've not gotten it, go get it today. I'm not going to probably mention it again. So emailonautopilot.com, grab that coupon code. I'll drop it here into the chat so that you can go do it. Somebody go do it and make sure that it works for me. I set it up this morning. It should work. And do you need this course? Well, we're going to talk about some of the principles in here, but not all of them. So the course goes over kind of my whole strategy with implementation, specifically if you're on ConvertKit. Half of it is strategy and half of it's how to set it up in ConvertKit. We'll talk about platforms in a minute. You don't have to have ConvertKit in order for this stuff to work. But if this is a great resource for you because we won't be able to get into all the details in this mastermind. If you have not yet done so, please join our Facebook group if you're down for that. We're going to be sharing and caring in that Facebook group. So please join us there. All right. So normally at this time, I talk about the money being in the list, but and this is kind of this thing that people talk about. And then I go through this whole spiel about why you need to build your list. I'm going to do it different today. Okay. So here's the slides I normally talk about. Okay. I don't know about you, but there's a lot of chatter out there right now. In fact, I'm as busy as I've ever been. People are freaked out about changes in the digital marketing landscape. What does that mean? Well, you already know what I'm talking about. And I'm not going to speculate on what the changes are and what's coming. But we know that change is a constant in our business. If you've been doing this for a while, you probably remember when Instagram, we just used to swipe up to sign up, or whatever, when Pinterest actually, was much easier to get traffic from. So there's all sorts of changes that happen all the time. And we're facing some big ones right now, specifically as we look at Google cookies, AI, and all that. So I'm as busy as I've ever been. And I want to tell you that right now, I'm actually as excited, and I mentioned this briefly in the Facebook group yesterday. I'm as excited as I've ever been about email, not because I think it saves everything if you're worried about your business, but no, in fact, because it is a gateway to having a better relationship with your customers. Look, I'm gonna be a jerk for just a second. So you rank #1 for something. Congrats. That's awesome. You're making money. Does that mean you have a brand? Does that mean you have a connection with your audience? Real, sustainable, long-lasting businesses have an audience that they connect with. That is just historically something that is true. And I don't think anybody's going to argue with me on that. So as far as growing a list, why would we grow a list? For so many reasons. An insurance policy is one of them, meaning you want to have a means by which you can communicate with your audience. But if we grow a list of engaged subscribers that care about what we have to say in our topic, and we serve them over and over and over again consistently, our brand gets stronger. The stickiness is there. I should have a slide on this. I didn't even think about it till just now. I have been doing more reports than ever before in Google Analytics, and I know that GA4 is just going to hose all my reports, and I'm kind of mad about it. But anyway, I can tell you with certainty that an email subscriber will stay on your website 3 times longer than a regular subscriber, that they will see 2 to 3 more pages per session, that the bounce rate gets cut in half. Now, that's common sense, isn't it? Somebody who's clicking on something that you send them is coming there. But what does that actually mean? That means that that person is your true customer. They get you, they value you, and they're coming to you, and not just because they saw you in a Facebook group. All right, I'm going to stop being a jerk now for a second. I may come back to jerk mode in a minute, but just for a minute, I'll try to be nice. So let's talk about what does that mean for us. And I assume that you're here because you're looking to diversify your revenue streams. That was kind of the hook of this thing, how to make money with email. Now, some of you may be just going, doggone it, my email bill is a little too expensive and I don't like that. But I'm talking, what we're going to talk about over the next 6 sessions are the fundamentals to help you build a core audience that then you can market to, that you can sell stuff to, or you can get them to click on your stuff and come back to your website and see more ads. There are other new whiz-bang, fandangled things happening with sponsorships, ads in emails, print on demand products. There's a whole new world that was not there 24 months ago, or at least that was not as easy for us bloggers or us content creators to tap into. All right, let's get to it. Do me a quick favor. Down below, I've got a dozen people live here, or whatever it is. What is the main thing you want to get out of this? I've only taught this session one other time this way, and I want to cater it to the people who are most engaged here. So I will go where you want to go. There are some things I have to cover, but if you guide me, I'll take you. I'll go where you want to go. Charlotte says, leverage my list to earn more money. So it's truly about using your existing audience and making more. So what are I assume, Charlotte, I don't want to put words in your mouth. What you mean by that is, what are the different ways to do that? What are the most effective types of campaigns to send? And how do you do that fits into the system of the rest of your business? Is that a fair? Did I get that pretty close? All right. Most effective ways. Okay. Make your list, your emails more clickable and usable. Okay, Darcy, I think Darcy touched on something that's important there. There's a great speech by Earl Nightingale. I don't know if anybody know who Earl Nightingale is. If you don't, he's like from the 50s. Go listen to. This will change your life. This changed my life. This has nothing to do with email. It's called The Strangest Secret. And it is 30 minutes of next level awesome. Forgive the, he uses the word men a lot. Forgive that. That was how people talked in the 50s. But take the general principles. The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. Anyway, one of the things that he talks about is that the level to which he was talking specifically about wealth and success, but the level to which we are successful is directly proportionate to the level at which we are helpful. The amount of service that we give. So what Darcy said there is core to making money with our email list. Clickable and usable. Okay. Somebody's looking to organize ConvertKit, get more emails, connect with readers so they respond and make money. Okay. We can talk a little bit about platforms. Just as a disclaimer, I'm a pretty big ConvertKit fanboy. However, as I'll tell you, I'm familiar with many other platforms. I'm most familiar with ConvertKit just because I spend all day, every day in it. But there are a lot of great ones out there. If you have questions about tech, stick around after the call, because every one of these sessions, I will stay as long as you want and talk about your individual circumstance. Not sure you want ads and email. I get it. Yeah, that's going to be a decision that you're going to make. But the great thing about this, Tracy, is that there's different types of ads coming in the maybe I don't want to assume anything, but what I had previously, as far as what looked like ads to me or what I hated, they've morphed a little bit. You have those, and those are programmatic type ads are available, but also direct sponsorships that feel more like a brand engagement, like you might do a sponsored post on your website. There are people that are doing it very, very effectively. I'm talking about newsletter operators like you and me, not big brands, but they've figured out how to do that. So we'll talk about some of that. And then you don't have to do it all the time as well. That's another thing, is it can be a once in a while type of revenue stream. What everybody's saying, yeah, capture kind of people, great. Determine what lead magnets will help you convert. Okay, Riyadh, we'll talk about those too. RSS, okay, we can cover that as well. Great. All right. About the technical stuff, this is where I tell you that everything I'm going to share with you, most of the stuff that I'm going to share with you will work on ConvertKit on platforms that are not ConvertKit. Sorry. If you are in, I stopped apologizing for this in years past. I am an affiliate. Sure, I make money doing this, but I have found that people get stuck on the tech with email. You have to learn WordPress. You have to learn Tailwind. You have to learn Slickstream. You have to learn all that stuff. This is one more piece of tech. I've found ConvertKit to be the easiest to do my system. It's a powerful blend of powerful features with easy to use kind of bloggerish type tools. So if you know WordPress, and you can pretty much make your way around inside ConvertKit. Also, that email and autopilot course, as I mentioned, half of it is how to do this stuff in ConvertKit. Okay, so if that helps one of you, great. You get 30 days free with that link. Moving on. Here's how I think you can achieve success in this mastermind. Dedicate the time. You signed up for this. Maybe it was a couple months ago, but we're looking at 6 sessions over the next 2 weeks. Take the homework and get after it, all right? Commit yourself to do it. I promise you that if you will do that, you're going to have a few ahas that aren't just write it down, but if you'll take it and do the next step of the homework, I will work with you. I will critique it. I will give you feedback on it. And you can make a transformation in your email strategy here over the next 6 sessions that can transform your business entirely. All right, let's get to it. I'm gonna have to start here. I always start here. I'm about to share with you the secret to everything I do, and it's not so secret. All right, but before I do that, I want you to meet my friend Martha. So I was over at Martha's house, and we were enjoying a lovely conversation as she had her nondescript laptop there, and we were just having a good time chatting. And she says, "You know what, Matt? I've got a hankering. I'm really hungry." And you know what she was hungry for, of course. Yeah, she's got a glass of milk there. It's obvious. She said, I could really use some spam musubi. And I'm like, you know what? Me too. I don't even know what spam musubi is, but that sounds amazing. How about we make some? She said, I don't know how, but she had her unbranded laptop with her. So she just typed in spam musubi into this website called Google, and up come these results in the top 2 spots. How to make spam musubi by favefamilyrecipes.com, favorite family recipes. Great. So we click on one of those, and there's this website that has the whole article about it, talks about what it is and why it's great. And fortunate for us, there was a recipe card in there. By the way, in case you're wondering, if you've ever wanted to make spam musubi, some people like it dipped in soy sauce and some like it with ketchup. We tried both. Fans of both, so just give it a whirl. Anyway, so what happened after we enjoyed this lovely spam feast? Did we go out and tell all our friends? No. Did we even print out the recipe for next time? The reason for that, Martha doesn't need to do that. Martha went off and on her way. We finished our conversation and she got back to work. I went and fed the kids that aren't in my house anymore. Whatever it is, 80 to 90% of Favorite Family Recipes visitors are bouncing. I haven't hacked into their stats. I'm just guessing, because that's pretty typical for all of us, right? Why is that? Because Martha doesn't need to remember this. Martha had a hankering for some spam musubi, and she's in transaction mode. Google or whatever platform or ChatGPT or whatever it's going to be in the future gave her the result. Next time she gets hungry, what's she going to do? She's going to Google something again or go to Pinterest and find it. She doesn't need to remember you. She doesn't need to remember Favorite Family Recipes that has a URL that is spelled different. If she types in favoriefamilyrecipes.com, she's not going to get to the right place. Let's go back to this. The not so secret secret is this. Please, if you want to make money with email, learn this one secret. Your existing traffic is your best source of list growth. Let me pause on that for effect and have a drink of my highly healthy zero sugar drink. Your existing traffic is your best source of list growth. That's why these things here don't work. Sign up for my newsletter. Sign me up to get your best recipes weekly. Want useful tips, stories, and giveaways in your inbox? The answer for Martha and most other people is no. They don't want that. They don't want more emails in their life. They actually want less. So what do? How do we get more subscribers? How do we get Martha to just leap into our newsletter? Well, we need an email hook. Big surprise, right? You all knew this. You all have one, probably. If you don't, that's okay. Welcome to the party. All right. But if you do, what have you got? Down in the chat, let me know. I know I've got some former email on autopilot people here. What have you got? I'm expecting good things here. Let's see. Let's hear it. Or if you don't have anything, now while you're typing that out, I want to share with you what I think makes a good email hook. First, it should grab your target reader. This is why I'm not doing Visa gift card giveaways very often. Second, it should solve, and it's probably most important, it should solve a reader's problem. Third, it should arrive in the inbox instantly. And fourth, the idea here is to take Martha and explain to her why you're a subject matter expert. Now, there's plenty of different lead magnets out there. And I'm not dissing these. I want to be clear about this. I use every one of these that are on this list. Okay, so Tracy's got 5 secrets to vegetarian cooking, right? Lots. Okay, we got some email series, cheat sheets, a free cooking class. Oh, that's cool, Charlotte. I love that. Meal plans. Charlotte, tell me which one works best. 5 sensible home hacks to make you a smarter homeowner. Chaz, that sounds familiar. That sounds like a quick start guide, maybe. I don't know. The free cooking class. That's interesting. I want to come back to that. An e-magazine. Okay, Katie. Excellent. Now, look, I hope these are all working well for you. And what I'm going to share with you today is not actually that revolutionary. But as in my experience in working with clients, this is where I've struggled. I've discovered that most email hooks take time, money, or skill to create. I don't know, maybe that e-magazine, just guessing, it has to be designed, right? Or they simply aren't that effective at attracting readers that ultimately become your super fans. So what do I mean by that? Well, have you ever downloaded an ebook with full intentions to save that somewhere, and then you just deleted it because it's been sitting on your desktop or on your phone and you never actually used it? Or you looked at it and you're trying to read it on your phone and it's so hard to read that it just becomes unusable. That's what most people do with an ebook. So what did that actually accomplish? Well, it got them onto the list. That's great. But it didn't actually drive any additional action. Probably didn't drive much loyalty. And it probably cost you time and money to make that bad boy. Right? So here's another idea for you, maybe a better idea. Use your existing content and create what I call a quick start guide. Now, I've already seen here that people like Darcy, Chaz, who else? Tracy, have already got quick start guides, right? I assume that's modeled after what I'm about to share with you. For you that have already got one, it's time to do a new one. Okay, here we go. For those that don't know what quick start guide is, it is a short series of emails that lead your newest people back to the most important content that you have. And you get to do it in the order that makes the most sense for them. So, example that I use, and I've used this example for years because it still works. When somebody lands on my Disney Cruise Tips website, what do I know about that person? Well, they're likely going on a Disney cruise. And it's probably their first one. Otherwise, why do they need Disney Cruise Tips? So this is my quick start guide, what to expect on your first Disney cruise. Do you see how this hook is much more hooky than sign up for updates about Disney cruising? Or subscribe to my newsletter to learn everything I know about Disney cruise? This works because it goes right at their next problem. It is no secret to me who this audience is. And the glory is, I have great stuff for them. I just need to put this in front of them. A lot of people say pop-ups are annoying. This is a pop-up. I've never got one complaint, and this thing converts like crazy. Why? Because it solves their next problem. We'll talk about pop-ups later. That'll be a different discussion. The glory of this is that you get to use your existing content, right? In fact, spoiler alert, I'm going to assign you a homework assignment to make a new quick start guide. And my challenge to you is to not use anything new, or not make anything new for it, to just use your existing content. So what we can do is we can basically take a theme and take your content and package it up, and presto, you've got a guide. Just call each day. You get 5 emails per, let's say you're going to do a 5 email quick start guide. It doesn't have to be 5. It could be 3. It could be 10. It could be 12. But it's basically 1 email per day for 5 days in a row. Each of these emails the point is to drive them back to your content where you monetize, back to your channel, back to your blog, back to your YouTube channel, back to your whatever. And the reason that what we're doing is we're just putting our best stuff in an order that makes sense. And the reason that this works is because when people are getting going with a new concept, they just want the quick hits, right? Just tell me, well, what I need to do on quickly. When we're able to simplify a topic for people, man, we're doing them a huge, huge favor. Now let's think about that in terms of, you're going to go on a trip. All right. If you're going to go on a trip to Paris for the first time, What do you want to know? You can ask pretty much anybody that's been there. Do you need to ask the mayor of France? Mayor of France, that was the stupidest thing I've ever said. The mayor of Paris? No, you just need somebody who's been there before and had a great experience. Where should I stay? What should I see? What should I eat? It's not more complicated than that. And you probably already have this content. But Matt, all this stuff's already on my blog, on my channel, on my website, on my Instagram. Can't they just find it there? Well, sure they can, but they don't do that. You don't do that. I don't do that. Nobody does that. So all we're doing is we're just packaging it up and making it simple for them. Here's the beauty of the Quick Start Guide. We're going to save our readers time by making it easy for them to consume our best stuff in the best order. In the process, by giving them these aha moments, we're becoming a subject matter expert. Think about that. Favorite family recipes, spam musubi. I don't know who you are, to 3 to 5 days of favorite family recipes, best recipes. Oh, I'm starting to recognize the logo. I'm starting to recognize the founder's headshot. I've come to the website and I've kind of bumped around a little bit and explored deeper than I did the first time. Maybe I discover a new recipe to pair with the spam musubi, and presto, all of a sudden I'm becoming a fan. And I'm being trained to open and click future emails because this stuff that you're sending me is awesome. Notice that this is not a welcome series. All right, we can do a welcome series later if you want. This is a solution to a problem. This is right at the heart of it. I am not spending a lot of time in these emails saying, hi, my name's Tracy. I enjoy quiet walks on the beach with my dog Fluffy when we throw stones into the Strait of Juan de Fuca. You know, nobody's doing that. They don't care yet. They will. And a picture of Fluffy is going to be strategically timed a little bit later on. But right now, they need the 5 steps to being as awesome as Tracy. 5 steps to whatever Tracy knows. Okay. All right, let's get into it here. Now, you may be wondering, how do I select a topic? What's the #1 thing I've asked you to remember so far? Yes, it's that tomorrow is my birthday. This #2 thing that I've asked you to remember so far is this, that your existing traffic is your best source of list growth. So let's start there for picking our topic. What problem can you solve? So this is not a theoretical question. That's not the right use of the term. What I want you to actually do this. I want you to jot down some notes right now, just real quick. What's your biggest channel? Meaning, are you huge on YouTube, but your blog doesn't get much traffic? Well, then I'm talking about YouTube. If it's the other way around and your blog is getting the most traffic, that's what I'm talking about. Then what is your biggest traffic getter? And I'm sure that there's some posts or topics or videos that get more traffic than others. Then ask, why did they come there? What do they want out of life? I want you to think about their motivation. What brought them there? And what's the core of their problem? And then what can you offer to solve it? All right. I would love it if anybody wanted to share a couple of their highest traffic post categories, because we're going to come back to those. While you're doing that, I'm going to show you some examples of people who have taken this concept, and I'm going to give you too many examples. Right, here we go. Okay, so Allie from Baking a Moment, she has a lot of great baked goods, and she has found this one, 5 secrets to bake for baking impossibly soft cookies. We tested this against baking impossibly hard cookies, and this one actually won. So that that was helpful. So we've got Jansen from Raising Readers, or excuse me, Everyday Reading. She has one called Raising Readers, and she's a former librarian. She has a master's in librarian sciences. She just loves instilling a love of reading in kids, and so she helps parents to do that with Raising Readers. This one's kind of right on the nose. So Michelle at Paleo Running Mama has 5 secrets to paleo success. If you're trying to stay on a particular diet, this works pretty well. So Jessica at 4 Generations One Roof, she has a kind of an interesting challenge where she has a lot of random stuff. People will Google her DIY projects, they're a weekend warrior that needed to fix a toilet or change up something in the foyer. That's French. She does 5 secrets to transform your home on any budget, because she knows that these people share that, that do-it-yourself mentality, and they're probably budget conscious. Favorite family recipes. I'm not just picking on them with the spam musubi. They have something called killer copycat recipes that they've used. They started it during the pandemic, and it really crushed during the pandemic. They have others as well, but killer copycat recipes. You can see I use this 5 secrets to blank a lot. Have you noticed that? Well, it's a little bit of a crutch for me. I acknowledge it. I also acknowledge it's a little bit of cliche. But, and before you ask, is there some magic to the number 5? I'm going to say probably. I don't have empirical data on that, and I can't quote some expert on that. So it's something that I've just adopted. But I believe that it's better than 1 or 2. And I've never had any problem with a 5-part series from anybody. So if you need a starting point, use this as a proxy. You don't have to commit to it, but 5 secrets to blank. What's your topic? 5 secrets to blank. And sometimes that's just a thought starter that just, you're like, ooh, okay. Yeah, 5 secrets to getting started with woodworking. Bingo. 5 secrets to organizing your pantry. Finally. I kind of like that one. 5 secrets to Japanese cooking. 5 secrets to healthy snacking. The Happy Chicken Coop. In January, I guess there was a big shortage of eggs, and their traffic really took off. And so they've had people coming out of the woodwork trying to buy chickens and not knowing how to do it. So their Raising Healthy Chickens series has done pretty well for them. Copycat secrets, 5 summer baking secrets. Notice the seasonality in that one. My people who have been doing a legacy evergreen thing for a long time. You see where I'm going with this? 5 baking secrets versus 5 summer baking secrets. When it's June, which one's going to work better? I think you get what I mean. Gardening, from Savvy Gardening, garden smarter, not harder. 5 tips to get you started. I see, on and on and on. Okay, I've got too many in here. Desserts made easy, dinners made easy. 5 days of easy air fry recipes. It's not even secrets. This is just a promise of more recipes in this particular case. 5 secrets to great Mexican food at home. Perfect springtime salads. Slow cooker classics. 5 secrets to saving money and time at Disney World. Summer recipe countdown. Get your kids to love veggies. All right. This is one from Cassidy. She's a very active Raptive member of the Raptive Facebook group. She'll tell you about this one. She's been in my mastermind. I did not teach her this. She knew this before she came to my mastermind. And if you think you're going to sell a course someday, go sign up for Succulents and Sunshine. Sign up for this one, even if you don't plan on. I don't know if that type of plant's going to work in Alberta, but maybe go sign up just to see how she does the flow into the paid thing. Okay, if you're ever going to do a paid course, this is a great example of somebody who's doing a free to paid. Go sign up. The hook is a free quick start guide, and then she's going to invite them to participate in a paid product. 5 secrets to starting a garden, etc., etc., etc. Okay, this one here I want to talk about. So Ralphie, this just illustrates that you can do this for any channel. You really can. I have Anisha from Rainbow Plant Life. She crushes it on YouTube. She's got a blog a video that's got over 1 million subscribers, and she uses a PDF guide and a quick start guide in her messaging. So go check that out. But anyway, back to Ralphie. A few years back, she had 120,000 followers and no blog. I don't even think she has a blog today. So it's just Instagram. And she did this thing called No Yell Week. And in conjunction with No Yell Week, we created a quick start guide called Staying Safe, Why We Yell, Why It Doesn't Work, and What to Do Instead. And so she promoted it on her Instagram stories and her posts. And we've created this ConvertKit landing page, just a little form. Probably took us just a couple minutes to whip this up. And she would then hold up her phone and she would talk to it and say, hey, everybody, it's No Yell Week. I have a resource that'll help you. And she just mentioned it for all week long, multiple times. And people shared it. All of her Instagram friends. Now, she was starting from a list from zero. So admittedly, there was already a latent audience, right, that would have signed up for her list no matter what, her fans. But this was the catalyst to get them. In 2 weeks, she went from 0 subscribers to 20,000 subscribers. Now, here's the metrics of what, after the first 2 weeks, this is what people were doing. If you know anything about email marketing metrics, it is awesome. She's getting engagement. Here's what those emails kind of look like. Why yelling doesn't work. 3 long-term effects of yelling, blah, blah, blah. She goes on for a little bit. And then at the end, for a video on the negative effects of yelling, click the picture. How much time do you think she spent on that picture? And then a link. Now, those of you who know, you already know. But guess where this takes you? You click on this, and it just takes you back to a highlighted Instagram story that has been there the whole time. So let's get this straight. I'm following her on Instagram. She invites me to sign up for a newsletter. So I give her my email address, and then she directs me back to her Instagram. And I don't hate it at all. I love it. She's guiding me, and she's walking me step by step. Okay. Now, my point in telling you this, there's obviously lots of points here, but one of them is, look at this. This is not hard. Can you put this together? Yes, you can. Do you need a designer? No, you do not. It is, we are overthinking this stuff sometimes. Go fast, break stuff is my mantra for this course, because you can do it. All right, I'm going to address some questions in here. Is it effective to give a recipe book and use the Quick Start Guide as the follow-up? Darcy, that's a great question. Some people have already invested in an ebook, for example. And the ebook can have some cachet, meaning it can have some appeal to somebody who thinks that they're getting something tangible. If that works for you, by the way, test it. If that works for you, great. But if you want them to actually click on something and come back to your website, I like where you're going with this, is use the Quick Start Guide as the follow-up. So, for example, if you have, and let me just look here real quick. Where did it go? Darcy, I've already forgotten what your, it seemed like it was pantry, dehydrated foods. Okay. So if you have a dehydrated food recipe book. Hi, Matt, as promised, or hi, Matt, welcome to day 1 of 5 secrets to, or 5 easy ways to use dehydrated foods. Over the course of the next 5 days, I'm going to share with you my top tips, secrets, and recipes for getting the most out of dehydrated foods. We're going to make it super easy. To get started, I have a special bonus. Download this free ebook. Now, let me tell you about blah, blah, blah. Or I would do the whole recipes and all that. And then at the bottom, I'd say, and as promised, here's your bonus ebook, right? And then, but you've just given yourself permission to just send the next 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row. And they got this extra added value. I love it. I think that's a fantastic idea. Fantastic. What if your top ranking posts are all over the place? And we have seasonal posts. I'm guessing we skip those because we like to be, not necessarily. All right, Chaz, let's unmute. Let's unpack this together. You, me, and all these strangers that are just judging us with their eyes.
Okay, so you just kind of want to know where some of those top ranking posts are?
Yeah, what are they? What are they?
So I have one on different ways to use Irish Spring soap to get rid of flies.
Okay.
And
that
then,
is kind of random. I see. All right.
Yeah, and then the next one is how to create a witch for Halloween.
Okay.
Epsom salt scrub. Christmas crafts to make and sell.
Okay.
Dollar Tree organization hacks. Hot apple cider bar.
All right, let's pause. I get it.
Yeah.
I see similarities between these people. And if you wanted to go evergreen and general, I don't know, everybody, you heard her. What do these things have in common? What does that type of reader look like to you? Let's just see. I'm just going to let everybody brainstorm down here in the chat. Let's do this together, more workshop-y style. So the question is, I think you already get it. But the question is, what are the characteristics of this reader, and what problem can Chaz solve for them? All right. They are willing to do stuff to save money, DIY to save money. They're frugal, DIY. They're interested in improving their home. Good. DIY likes to solve their own problems. I think Bren brings up something though that it may not just be budget. It probably is, but it may not just be budget because sometimes I'm just going to get this done, you know, and maybe it's just more the frugality thing. Okay, good. There was those crafts in there, right? There was a cider bar. Sorry, whatever that is. That sounds amazing. I'm gonna come back to that in 2 months. That sounds fantastic. So let's do this. Chaz, describe what stuff you have for that type of reader.
I have
This
a
is
lot
who
of
you are,
dollar
right? This is
store
what you do.
projects, right? I have a lot of repurpose, upcycle, a lot of dollar store projects, anything from crafting on a budget with dollar store stuff for seasonal. I have taking
Okay.
things at home that you don't want anymore and flip them and make them into something so that they're lovable again.
Okay, I'm gonna pause you.
Lots of cleaning and organizing.
Okay, let's talk about what do these people of what you've got for the summer. What are some general categories or buckets of things that you have for summer
For summer.
for these people?
I have I'm trying to think. So I have where I've taken flower pots and flipped them into an Uncle Sam planter.
Oh, so it's patriotic. Okay.
I've got games that you can create for your backyard
Okay.
out of dollar store items. I have I'm about to create a well, it's not ranking, so I guess I shouldn't go there. But a lot of solar light flips, like taking solar lights and turning them into outdoor chandelier, or
Okay.
lots of gardening for the
Pause.
backyard.
I got it. So take those 3 things. How do you lump them together? What do we call that? Everybody can jump in here. Darcy asked, while you're thinking of that, Darcy asked, even if it isn't ranking, is it still helpful? Absolutely. A Google rank, it just simply means that somebody was searching for that particular thing. It doesn't have anything to do with the level of awesomeness that you're providing. You know, look, I am, because I've ignored my Disney cruise stuff, I used to rank #1 for Disney cruise tips. My tips are still better than the other stuff that's out there. I promise you. I've just lost the ranking. So you betcha I'm sending people to it if I can. Okay, anyway, back to Chaz. So 5 quick and easy summer projects to transform your backyard. That was a little long, a little long. 5 summer DIY backyard projects. 5 15-minute backyard miracles. I don't know. Are we getting somewhere?
Yes.
All right. So this is the exercise that I go through. $5 store DIY backyard. If a lot of people are coming specifically because they're Googling the dollar store, you might just, like Charlotte's suggesting, you might just go right at it. It could be that that's just one post of many. And so maybe you don't, you know, it could also be off-putting. So I think you have to understand your audience, you know, and test some stuff.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yes, it does. So it doesn't matter. So I guess one of the things I always wondered is if I'm creating this sign up thing on my website and it's summer based, then am I going to need to change it for fall and then change it for winter? So is that a good idea, or is it better to create something that could last?
I'm going to come back to this over and over and over again. Martha is different. It's a different Martha every time and every season.
Okay.
So if you're just getting started with this, go with the low hanging fruit. Create something general and site wide. Okay. If it's clear to you, do it, because you'll always have that to go back to. You'll always have the 5 days for dehydrated, how to use dehydrated foods. However, if you want to level up, it's time to start thinking about this in terms of that person. Look, let's go back to Martha. No, let's not go to Martha. Let's go to somebody who's going to do a Disney cruise. I have Mickey Mouse coloring pages on my website. Should I share with them my Disney cruise opt-in? Probably not. They aren't spending $10,000 on a vacation. And now, what if it was the other way around? What if I shared the Mickey Mouse coloring pages, whatever opt-in, or general Disney fun at home to the Disney cruise people? Which is likely to convert better? This is what your competitors are not doing, folks. They're not taking the time to think this through. Now, let's go back, Chaz. You've been wonderful so far. I mean, so far. You shared with us a variety of different posts. Christmas crafts on its own. I don't know. I'm just make something up. Let's say that there's this bizarro world where during December, your Christmas crafts posts just takes off like crazy, but nobody else really wants Christmas crafts. They want all the other stuff. Would it make sense for you to have Christmas crafts quick start guide just on the Christmas crafts post? It might, just like I'm doing with the Disney cruise. And that could be evergreen like I'm doing with the Disney cruise, or it could be seasonal. So some of you out there have multiple main things that you do. I know that, let's say that, I have a client, Sandy from Simply Happy Foodie. She has Instant Pot recipes and she has slow cooker recipes. She can't just assume that somebody that has one wants the other. They're very different devices. I think these devices, like, they would duke it out in a boxing match if they could. So what do? Well, create something specific for Instant Pot people that shows up on Instant Pot recipes, and create something else that's specific for slow cooker. You see why I'm starting here as the fundamental? Because what will I be able to sell the Instant Pot person versus the slow cooker person in the future? What kind of brand would then sponsor with me? What kind of affiliate products could I sell if I narrowed it down? This is the work that most people are not doing. And I'm telling you that this right here, this quick start guide concept, all of these, if you master this, look, this is the ultimate spring recipe guide. What Danya can do from a Southern soul, if this works for her, and it's still a little generic for my taste, I might work with her to get a more impactful title, but she could just take that exact same thing, hit duplicate, and swap out her spring messaging for fall messaging, and swap out the spring recipes for fall. But she has the fundamental same thing, and she can roll with that every year going forward. It's an asset that's being created. As my Disney cruise one was an asset that I still use, and I made it in 2016. I had to change it up a little bit for the pandemic, but for the most part, it's still the same thing. Okay. Is anybody else stuck? I really want to unpack this. I am giving away free quick start guide ideas. Normally I charge $1 million for each one, and today is your lucky day. It must be because tomorrow's going to be my birthday. It must be that I want to give back. Okay, nobody's brave. You want to stump me? Come on. I want to be stumped. I don't think it's happened yet. That's so cocky. Who's this guy? All right. All right, Bren, unmute. Let's go. Let's do this.
Okay, so I have a couple of diverse topics, like we were just talking about on my blog, which I've been working to get more into, streamlining those together. But for example, I have some gluten-free recipes that do really good, but I don't really blog much about gluten-free recipes. Those just happen to be recipes that did great.
Yeah.
So for example, I have like a series of posts about gluten-free muffins, back when we were chasing keywords.
Sure.
So do I make a muffin one and then I can follow that up with 5 muffin recipes, but then there's not a lot of content for those people on my blog after, a few muffin recipes.
What is your website?
It's brendid.com. So my first name and then DID. So I primarily write about like green cleaning and sustainability stuff now.
Okay. I think you have some interesting choices to make.
Yeah. Don't we?
Okay. So a couple of those choices are, this is how I would be thinking about it. If I have anything that would serve the gluten-free muffin person, anything at all, I would be creating a quick start guide to get them onto the list.
Mhm.
And then I would send them a series of emails, even if it was only 3 or 4 weeks. We're going to talk more on Wednesday and Friday about automations and stuff. But the gist of it is you would create this little mini series, maybe 1 email per week for 3 to 5 weeks in your case. Instead of 1 per day, it's 1 per week. And then you might deliver to them whatever you do have. How can you help? Well, you do have stuff. It's not that you don't have anything, you just don't have very much. So you deliver what you do have. And then the question would be, then what? Well, I would probably, because your hope is that they've come to the website and they've seen that you're all about green cleaning, and maybe you even discuss it more. And you talk about, you start slowly transitioning that messaging about muffins. And then, by the way, here's some kitchen resources, you know, about green cleaning your kitchen. And so that they kind of get this slow transition of your brand. And then they can get into this general list after they've finished those 3 to 5. It's about creating a journey, whatever journey you can. That's one of the things of that if you get the right email platform that you can do pretty easily, is that you just, you know, you create sequences and rules that say, okay, give them these 3 emails and then, and only then, drop them into everybody else. But it still is that person. I acknowledge that there's probably, you know, the gluten-free, somebody who's gluten-free may not care about green cleaning at all. It's just they have a dietary concern.
Right.
So, but I'm still going to try, for the sake of, it's this big sieve, and we're going to let the other ones unsubscribe, you know? And by the way, here's another thing you can do for everybody listening. In that one sequence, let's say that you had a gluten-free sequence. You could change your unsubscribe language. You could go right at it and be very frank with them and say something like, make the unsubscribe big so they don't stay on the list. Unsubscribe if green cleaning or whatever you actually want to talk about, it's coming up next, is not right for you. And just make it, I used to kind of hide the unsubscribe thing. I actually, you know, I'm all about making it very prominent now so that people discover. But my guess is that there's really good crossover there too.
Yeah, no, that makes sense to make it really obvious, because I have been doing that more in my weekly newsletter. And when I tell people, like, you came here for green cleaning, but I want to talk about reducing your plastic use, a lot of them will be like, yes, thanks for talking about that. So,
right.
Yeah, just being really obvious. That's a good point.
Yeah. But I think as it goes to everybody's going to have some level of this with their segmentation, is go get the, you know, take that mentality of what do I have that will best serve them, and then dangle that carrot. Now, you may decide, so you're ranking for gluten-free, you may say, you know what, that just doesn't work. I don't want, I'm not a food blogger, I'm not doing any recipes, whatever your thing is. You may just, on that page, just show the green cleaning opt-in that is what you want to talk about. And you know it won't convert very well on those pages, but doggone it, some of those people will. So you have, those are kind of the choices to make, because we can decide who we want to be and who we want to attract. It's just your traffic may not be exactly that person in that moment.
Okay.
Thanks for the question. All right. Tracy got scared. What happened, Tracy? I was like, she's like, take this, Arizona, whatever it was going to be. All right, while you're thinking about it, let me finish up my slides. Look, normally I spend time teaching you how to write these emails, okay? Since I have some people that have already done it, I'm going to give you the very short version, okay? These do not have to be long. My apologies to any actual vegan bloggers out there, but imagine this is email number 1. 50 tasty vegan lunch, 50 tasty vegan lunches. Hi, Matt. Welcome to day 1 of eating vegan. State the problem. The problem is tasty lunches for vegans can be hard. Tell them you have the solution. I've been a vegan for 13 years now. I've tried many things, and I made a list that I know you'll love, and then give them the solution. That's it. These emails do not have to be long. The point is to get them to click through from the email to this resource that helps them. Okay, so you just do this for 5 days in a row. Be smart about your links, meaning this is not the time to ask them to sign up for your Pinterest. Focus on what the thing is that will solve their problem. What else? I'm just blowing through this. Here's an example. Sally's baking addiction. This is an old one, but she still has this in play. It's day 3. Here's the problem with most chocolate chip cookie recipes. They overspread. You want the perfect chocolate chip cookie? Of course you do. Today I'm sharing the most popular cookie recipe on my website. It's seriously over 700 reviews. And then read the recipe. Read to get the recipe, okay? So images are fine. Less is more. I'm going to challenge you to write emails that are shorter. My suggestion is write your email and get up, take a little walk, go pick up your Vice, sit back down, and then cut out half the words. My guess is you can do it. Additionally, please, if you want to be Matt's favorite student of all time, use subheaders. People don't read emails, they skim. Let me say that again. That should be on a t-shirt. I say it so much. People don't read emails, they skim. All right. All right, Tracy did challenge me. All right. Oh, but first I want to know if my open and click rates are good. I don't know. Let's see. Let's talk. Can you unmute, Tracy? Let's talk about it.
Sorry, I was just thinking about what you said.
Oh, pause for a second. I just realized the time. You and I, let's stay on. And for anybody who was willing to stick around, I'm going to go through this with Tracy. If you got to get out of here, because I want to be conscious of time. If you want the ConvertKit 30-day free trial, there's the dealio. It doesn't even ask for your credit card to get started. That's normally with ConvertKit you get 14 days, but because I'm such a big deal over there, you get 30. If you're stuck on Quick Start Guide ideas, stick around. I'll help you. Your homework assignment: go make a Quick Start Guide. Write 3 to 5 articles. Create a catchy title. 5 secrets to blank. Don't use that. If you want, you can. I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying use that as a thought starter. Write them in a Google Doc and then share them with me, and I will go over them with you on Wednesday about ways to make them better. Sometimes copywriting is the key to making more money with email. So we're going to talk about that on Wednesday. All right. Thank you for being here. We'll see you Wednesday if you got to get. If you want to stick around and hear what craziness Tracy has up her sleeve, I'm dying to know. Stick around. All right. Tracy, go ahead.
Okay, so I've had my 5 secrets to vegetarian cooking now for just under a year, and I'm not sure it's converting, but I'm having difficulty holding on to people, I guess longer term.
Okay.
And I have my I guess, what is it, open and click rates on my screen. I have 5, obviously I have 5 emails going out. And I just don't know if those are they considered good, or are my clicks and are my opens and clicks good for the industry? And should I try to improve them?
Okay, let's go through it. A couple things before you share your rates with me. Why do you say you're not holding on to them?
Well, I just feel like I feel like I have regularly people are unsubscribing. My net last month was 2 subscribers. So I had almost just as many people subscribing as unsubscribing. So
okay, my guess is that the top of the funnel may not be big enough. It may not have enough people coming in. It may not be that people are, because unsubscribes are normal. How often are you emailing them?
Always every Saturday, once a week, and sometimes twice a week.
Okay.
And I know that's not enough. You're going to say it's not enough.
Well, what about, and you're sending vegetarian recipes?
Yeah, they're all vegetarian.
Okay.
I
So
mean, obviously, sometimes they're vegan, sometimes they're sourdough recipes, sometimes they're sweet recipes, but they're always vegetarian.
So aside from the numbers of people coming in, is there any thought in your mind that you're your emails are not very good?
Well, it goes back to click and open rates. I'm not sure. I don't know what the industry standard is. I think it's okay.
What are they?
But I talked to other bloggers and they're like, it needs to be shorter, you know. But when I make them shorter, I have fewer clicks. So I don't know.
Okay, so what's the opens and clicks?
Do you want to see my screen or you just want numbers?
Sure. No, that'd be help if you're willing to do that. This is being recorded, so if you're okay with that, I just want you to give you full disclosure here. I'm going to make you co-host.
Okay. Hang on. Let me.
All right, go for it.
I don't know how to do this. Okay. Wait a minute. I have one screen big and one screen small. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, I've got two going on here too. I keep looking up, keep looking down.
I don't know.
All right, do you see the big green share screen button?
No, yeah, I've clicked on that, but it says open system preferences. So
it's going to make you go through some setup stuff if you've never done it before.
Yeah, I don't.
Why don't you just tell me?
Okay.
What's the total number of subscribers? What's the open rate? What's the click rate?
Okay. Let me get in there. All right. So my first email going out, the open rate is 79%, click rate's 24%.
Ah, dang.
Yeah. The next one.
How many subscribers is that?
I don't know, 5,700.
Dude, those are fantastic metrics.
Okay. The next one's 73% open, 23% clicks.
Okay. Do you remember when you said I'm going to tell you to send more?
Yeah.
Those types of engagement on food recipe, a lot of my food bloggers are getting clicks that are kind of 3 to 5% click rates, just to give you. Now, I get a lot more than that, and everybody's going to be. Before we go too far, everybody, listen. Open rates and click rates are completely subjective. It's your industry matters, your niche matters. On my same stuff, you can imagine that my Mickey Mouse coloring page stuff does not get opened and clicked as much as the Disney Cruise stuff. It's just obvious. Those people are way more invested. Vegans are going to be more invested in those recipes than even vegetarians are, and vegetarians are going to be more invested than just the general populace are than in food recipes. So please do not fall into the comparison trap. But I can tell you, just because I work with so many food bloggers, Tracy, that you are just fine. You should be sending more. My guess is that your issue is not, what you're sending. Although sure, we can always improve there. Your issue is growth. Let's grow this list bigger.
Yeah.
So does that put that issue to bed, at least for now? And I'm
Yeah.
happy to look at an email, and you can just forward me one, and in fact, if you want, we can do that for Wednesday. Send me an email and I'll tell you, because you've been through my course. You know how I tell people to write emails, and I'll give you my 2 cents on how I might improve that. That might be fun.
Okay. Thank you.
So let's go back to your lead magnet. So are you doing a pop-up?
Yeah, I have one. It's just general exit. It's called an exit pop-up. So it comes up when
so you're not actually doing a pop-up. Nobody sees the exit intent pop-ups anymore because there's really no way for a mobile device to track your movement and anticipate that you're leaving. Exit intent pop-ups used to work very well back in the day of desktop because you can track the mouse that it's headed up to the corner to make a change. My suggestion would be, and again, this is not to get into pop-ups right now, but what pop-up software are you using?
It's called Pop-Up Ally. I know it's
Sure. So I think it's been a long time since I've used that one, but I think it has a time delay or a scroll function.
Okay.
Maybe set it to where they scroll 30 or 40%. So a visitor, you want them to engage with the content before you show the pop-up.
Yes.
But you don't have to wait that long. Let them engage with the content either 10 to 15 seconds or scroll 30 to 40% of the way down the page. I've done both. Try that and you'll instantly start growing immediately. Second is you might look at single versus double opt-in if you're doing single opt-in or double opt-in.
I'm doing double.
Okay. Now you can tell by my haircut that I'm something of a rebel.
Yeah.
Every email platform out there will tell you to do double opt-in, and for good reason. What
Yeah.
they're trying to do is protect themselves and you, your deliverability. Because what we don't want is we don't want a big rush of people hitting, reporting you as spam for some reason. But I have found, and the only reason that that really happens is if some bad actor targets you with a spam blitz, a spam bot blitz.
Right.
That's happened to me in the last 5 years on probably 5 clients. And I do single opt-in all the time. So when that happens, you're checking your stats and you see this big spike and you're like, oh my goodness, I just hit the email lottery. And then you realize, oh, it's a bunch of, spam addresses from some foreign land. And you're like, what the heck?
Okay.
When that happens, we shut down the form. We can roll it back pretty easily and there's not a lot of damage done. So that's my 2 cents. You'll grow much, much faster if you go to single opt-in.
Okay. So the pop-up on mobile is fine.
Yeah. So I would want to see it probably. You don't want an image on mobile. So if Pop-up Ally allows you to create 2 different versions, one with an image for desktop and one that doesn't have an image. So if I have my mobile device like this, I want it to take up like a third of the screen. I want it to be easy to click around and get out of. But yeah, you're fine if you allow people to engage. I know that is, please don't sick me onto an SEO. I have gone round and round on this. I have done a ton of research on this, and you'll be fine if you do those things.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
All right, anybody else stuck? All right. Go make a new quick start guide, even if you have one. Go make something better. Go make something seasonal. Go make one for a category page or a post that's going to crush it. Let's grow this bad boy. And we will see you on Wednesday. Thank you, everybody. Have a great one.